Hello and welcome to the Raven and Renee show. Today we'll be interviewing my field instructor, Renee Weisler. So I will be asking you some questions.
Okay.
All right. How long have you worked in the school setting?
I started working in the school setting the year 2013-14 is when I came into the district. And prior to that, I worked in the corporate world.
Okay. So why did you choose school social work?
You know, I've always enjoyed working with students and kids, and I've always been interested in working with kind of a lower socioeconomic families, and I like building relationships, and it just seemed like a good fit at the time.
Okay. What is your favorite aspect of school social work and being a school social worker?
You know, I think that the best thing about working with students is just working with students. You get to watch their struggles, their trials, their tribulations, you get to work with their families. And, a lot of families don't feel like they're, it's hard to have kids who maybe don't have the kind of skills that maybe other kids have. And so working with parents and families and guardians about the struggles that their students have and engaging them in being part of the solution is just really rewarding, and not judging them and meeting them where they're at, which I think has been really helpful in our success with a lot of our kiddos.
Yeah. I have to say you guys do a pretty good job at trying to
We try.
make that connection.
Thank you.
What do you like the least about this job?
Probably the least thing I like about the job is not feeling like I can get everything done, and learning how to allow myself the space to not be able to get everything done. And so, some days are just more challenging than others, kind of like what we've experienced this week. And, offering myself some grace that, things will get done, and being okay with that. I'm not always going to get everything done in a timely manner, but a lot of the work we do is deadline significant. So, we have to take care of those things first, but that's probably the least thing I like. But, then I have to remind myself about all the things we do get done during the day.
Yeah.
With kids.
Okay. And what do you find the most challenging aspect of this job? Which is kind of the same question, but I guess what is the most challenging part?
I think probably the most challenging part is every student and every family is different. And so we have to be really aware of, because of those differences, their needs are different.
Right.
So a student who comes in to us with a behavior, looks like maybe a student we had last year or last month or whatever, but the same things we did for that student are not useful for this student. And so sometimes I find challenging that we're kind of, it's challenging, but it's exciting and it's fun, and it's all about building relationships with everyone. But that reinventing the wheel, sometimes I feel like, it can be a little exhausting, and I feel like it takes time to find the right thing for each kid.
So is it safe to say that every day is a little unexpected?
And that's one of the things I like about the job is that every day is unexpected. Something always happens. And it's one of the things I like about it. It's never dull. I've been here since 2013-14, and I'm still learning, I'm still challenged, I'm still,
Mm-hmm.
It's just ongoing.
Okay. How do your values influence your work?
My values influence my work in that I really feel like everyone is on their journey. And, I kind of equate it to, I kind of equate it to like we're all these molecules and we're always bumping into each other, in our lives. Like I've met you, or we have these students who know me and I know them and I know their families. And do I feel like I have to um, um, leave something significant with them? Not necessarily, because I feel like they're leaving marks on me, I'm leaving marks on them, and I think the marks that I want to leave are I want those things to be positive and influential, and in that, you know, encouraging everyone to find and think good about themselves, and that they have the power to make good choices about their life. We all do. And so that's just one of the things that value wise, being accepting of how different we are and what we leave with each other.
Okay. Can you describe how you interact with the child study team here at Enders?
Yeah, I mean, as a social worker of the child study team, you know, social workers are pretty influential because when we're looking, a lot of the child study team is driven by a lot of our special education processes.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we're always busy trying to ensure that things continue to flow appropriately and in a way that, we're giving the team, you know, a full 60 days to deal with a student and get things done versus, being a cog in the wheel. I don't like to be a cog in the wheel. So I really try to be, when I look at my role in the child study team, I really look at it as, am I being part of the solution or am I being part of the problem?
Mm-hmm.
And I really try as much as I can to be part of the solution and be involved as much as I can in that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Would you say that you believe the child study team has a good flow of everything of working together?
Our team really does.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know, and part of that is understanding teams and how teams function
Mm-hmm.
and creating a safe environment for every member of the child study team to voice their concerns. Um, you know, and respecting that.
Mm-hmm.
And not everything, and you've watched that. I mean, we don't always agree with each other,
Right.
but we respect each other.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I guess when it all comes down to it, creating a safe environment is up to me too.
Mm-hmm.
So the more I'm willing to listen to other, I'm demonstrating and modeling safe, um, helping everybody feel safe and secure and responding to however way they want.
Okay. What other types of social work jobs have you had?
Honestly, I've never been a social worker until 2013-14. So, what I have done in the past is worked pretty heavily in human resources. And so I've always worked with people and supporting people in a variety of different ways as far as, their their employment goes. But working more with people on a personal level than that, um, was something I wanted to do. So changed up my career.
All right. And what advice do you have to future social workers?
Future social workers, you know, I think I just, what advice to have for future social workers? I think it's do your best, be your best, always be in constant learning. Um, I don't corner the market in anything. I'm always learning and growing and using new tools and being willing to um, grow and be accepting of those professional opportunities that we talk about when I recognize that I am being challenged in some way or I'm really uncomfortable with the situation,
Right.
and recognizing why am I uncomfortable with that? Because that's probably a weakness I have that I'm not comfortable being exposed and being really honest about that and trying to work through those things because it's, when I have feelings that I'm uncomfortable with, it's not that other person's fault. It's because I'm processing something in a way that's not helpful to me. Does that make sense? And so I think that's really helped me a lot in working with people and families and trying to be just really healthy about how I think about where people are at in their lives is not always great. And, sometimes I don't understand why they make the choices that they make or, but I also have to respect that I'm not in their shoes, you know? And if I was, I mean, anybody can say, well, if it was my life, I would never choose that. But that doesn't help things. It doesn't help me reach out to the family. It doesn't help me build a relationship with them. People just need to feel, people just need to feel safe in telling you. And, parents who, I talk to and they're like, am I a bad parent? And that, and no, just by asking that you're not, but we're not born with a book either. And we're not born with a book, period, right, on how to guide our way through things. So I don't know. I would just say just being really open-minded and offering yourself the grace and offering other people the grace too.
Okay. Well, thank you, Renee.
You're welcome, Raven.
And that ends our session from Raven and Renee.
Thank you.